Good evening, good evening, good evening. Thank you guys for tuning in. Tonight, I have not one, not two, not three, but four guests. These are some young, amazing, powerful entrepreneurs that we're going to talk about what they got going on. We talking about technology. Everybody know that we're in 2022, but everything is starting to turn and nothing but into technology. And if you're not up on technology, you will be lost going forward into the future. So this evening, I have sitting down with me, Justin, Avantika, Catherine, Kayla. Did I get that correct? Did I get all the names correct?
It's Kaylee.
Kaylee. Okay. Okay. I was almost there. So tonight we're going to just find out what's going on with the entrepreneurs. This is the Fitted team, and they're going to talk about their platform, their program, and their business. And we're also going to talk about the CEO who happened to win the pitch competition for Ignite Her, and that's how I got to meet Avantika. So before we get started, I'm going to open us up in a word of prayer, and then we can move forward with the questions. So, Lord, we just want to say we thank you. We thank you for this platform. We thank you for this group of professionals that's sitting in front of me, God. Let me capture everything that there is about them and what they have going on so we can push forward their platform as well as their business, Lord. Just touch them. Don't let them be nervous, but let them know that everything is about them. So there is not a right or no wrong answer, but just making sure that my viewers are getting the best information so they'll be able to move their business forward. And hopefully we get some seed money for those who ever watching who would love to invest in this up and coming great company. So in Jesus' name I pray, amen, amen. So before I get started, I always like to say, tell my viewers who is the Fitted team. Anybody can jump in and start.
Okay, so I'll jump in. So the Fitted team consists of myself, the CEO, Justin, the CTO, Kaylee, the CMO, and then Catherine, the COO, so the Chief Operating Officer. And we are all classmates that met at William & Mary this year and decided to pursue this idea and form Fitted.
Okay, so if each of you can tell me something personal about you guys. I like to know the personal. I mean, I know the bit. I want to know the personal. Where you from? I mean, all that stuff. Anybody can start.
Fine, I'll jump in. So Catherine Bologna. I'm actually from Florida, and was a former elementary school teacher before I got my MBA, and now I'm in talent acquisition. And unfortunately, the only team member here that's still in the state of Florida and not in Virginia right now.
Oh, okay.
I can go. Or
Okay.
Kaylee, go ahead. Go ahead.
So I was born in Pennsylvania, but I moved to Virginia when I was about 4 or 5 years old, and now I live in Richmond, Virginia, and I work for a commercial real estate company.
Okay. Justin?
So my name is Justin Kleinberger. I was born in Denver, Colorado, and I have actually lived in 9 places. Yeah, that sounds right. And I actually have a tattoo for every place I've lived, so that's kind of my fun fact. And my background is in engineering, and I currently work for a consulting firm.
Okay. Avantika?
Yeah, so I was born in New Jersey, born and raised in New Jersey, and then I moved to Virginia. I moved to Virginia when I was, I think, 10 or 11, and I've been here ever since. Yeah, I have a background in social science, and I'm going to be a consultant in a month at like a very big tech company. So yeah, I'm excited.
Wow, that is great. That's awesome. So y'all all met different parts of the country. What part of Florida?
So Space Coast, Melbourne, Florida. So if you want to come to Kennedy Space Center, come to Orlando, come on down. I've got room.
Okay. So how you guys doing down here? Did the storm hit
Thankfully, we didn't get hit at all, but the West Coast got hit really bad. I know a lot of people that live there, and they're still suffering, but Florida's strong, and everyone's helping them. Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. So I always ask the people that I'm interviewing, how did COVID-19 have an impact? Even though we're still in COVID-19, but 2 years ago, it was devastating. How did it impact you guys, the pandemic?
So do you mean as a company or just individually?
Individually.
So COVID-19 was pretty rough for me. Well, I mean, in terms of like I graduated at the end of 2019, so I was at home, and then COVID hit, and I was still at home, and I didn't have a job, and I was kind of freaking out. But I also knew people in my relatives who were living in India, and they were really going through it during COVID. So I had like family members who faced kind of like the brunt of COVID, and so I felt very grateful that I was here, with my family, and I was able to spend time with them. And I wasn't able to go into classes and whatnot, but I was still safe. So that made me really, feel very grateful that I was here.
Okay. How about you, Justin?
For me, COVID was a very odd experience because it was very difficult in ways that I'm sure everyone can relate to. I was on the job hunt, and all of a sudden that went away. I actually got a job offer and was supposed to start the Monday everything shut down. Um, and it was a very strange experience, but at the same time, I got to spend a lot more time with my family that I didn't expect. Um, and I grew a lot closer with my parents and was able to help them in ways that um, were really filling my bucket and giving me a lot of purpose. So, as hard as it was and as tragic as it was for everyone, it ended up bringing some good into my life, and that was a nice outcome.
Good, good. Catherine?
Oh, you should let Kaylee go first.
Oh, Kaylee? Either or.
Yeah, well, I feel like I have a little bit better of an experience. So I graduated college in 2018, and I was a police officer for 2 years before I went back to school. So my job and everything didn't really change as an essential employee. So I didn't really have a rough experience in that sense. Luckily, no one I knew got COVID until like way later. Pretty much everyone in my family didn't get it until like this year, except for me. I'm still somehow the only one who hasn't gotten it. Knock on wood. So yeah, it wasn't that bad. My husband and I, we started working out together and running, and we got a cat and a dog. So it wasn't all bad.
Okay, good, good.
And for me, it was honestly the best thing that could have happened for me. Of course, horrible things happen. My father was actually in New York as a nurse during that time, so I didn't see him for about 3 or 4 months. But he was helping out and told me some very horrible stories. But at the same time, it allowed me to not be a teacher anymore. Friday the 13th, March, was when I was on a field trip to St. Augustine with my students, and that was the last day I saw them physically.
Wow.
The following Monday, I applied to the MBA program at William & Mary, and Thursday, I got accepted. So it was kind of like a silver platter situation for me.
Wow, awesome. Wow, great. Police officer. And you're no longer a police officer? No? Wait, in
No.
Virginia? Was it in Virginia?
Yes.
Wow. So that was that. My husband's he retired, but
Mhm.
police officer in DC. Wow, 1 year. You said you was done after that, huh? 1 year.
Well,
That was it?
it was almost 3 years. So from
Okay.
2018 all through 2020 up until the MBA program. But yeah, just not for me. It's not the most fun job, especially as a woman.
Wow. Okay. Okay. So I knew how you guys met. You met in the program, through the program. I know you already said your professional's background. We covered that. So Avantika, how did you come up with the business idea Fitted?
Yeah, so I think this also connects to COVID. So during COVID, when COVID hit, we weren't able to go in person and like shop like at the store. So I started online shopping, but I found it to be very, very frustrating because I'm petite, and finding petite clothing is very hard, both in person and online, but especially online, it was just ridiculous. Like I was really struggling to buy clothing online. And so that was just an idea, like before I got into the MBA program. I just thought that this process was frustrating. I wish it were easier to do this. But after I joined the MBA program, I pitched this idea to my friends. I think it was at the beginning of this year, because we were in a class where we were literally supposed to launch a startup. And so I just casually mentioned it to them that I had this idea where we could create like a petite only online marketplace sort of thing. And then when I shared this idea with them, everyone like pitched in their own perspective, because everyone struggles to buy online clothing in different ways. So then we decided to kind of zoom out and not just focus on petite clothing like specifically. And we wanted to build something that was for individuals who don't fit like the standard body type or body standard. So we wanted to make something that would be inclusive of all body types. And that's kind of where when we started, doing customer discovery and interviewing people and, refining the idea. But that's like where it started. It was from my own experience.
Okay, so team, what made you guys say, you know what? This is a good idea. I want to partner up, or, with Avantika to push this program along. So how did you guys, really jump in and decided to partner up with Avantika?
Well, first off, with the class, I feel like we all had to jump onto a team within like a day or two. So we're like, oh, look, I know these people. These people are really nice. I can work with them nicely compared to other people in the program where you're like, oh, I don't know. That was one option. But then, of course, as we built together in customer discovery, it was when the team was literally going out to the mall or going to different places and just asking people certain questions. You're like, okay, no, this is a real problem, and we can actually make a solution for this.
Yeah, I would say for me, growing up as a bigger, heavier guy, clothing shopping, whether it's in person or online, has always been a challenge. And the passion that Avantika spoke about the idea with, and honestly, within our program, we were doing this for a class, and you had these people coming up with ideas that weren't inherently good or bad, but they were kind of like, I'm doing this for the class. I'm doing this to get the grade and get out. Avantika really brought that. I'm doing this because it's a problem I want to solve for people. And to me, that was incredibly inspiring and just something I wanted to be a part of.
Okay. How about you?
Yeah, well, I think it helped because Avantika and I were already friends beforehand, so it was easy to work together, and we'd worked together a couple times before, and the idea just seemed cool to me. I didn't really expect anything to come of it, to be honest. Like I didn't think that we'd, be here today. But yeah, I just really liked the idea, and we were already friends, so it kind of worked out.
Okay, great. So how was the name created? How did you guys come up with the name?
Yeah, so this is not our original name. We came up with the name that was kind of nerdy. So at the beginning of the program, when we formed our team, we came up with the name Tail Ends. So tail ends are like part of like a coat, like the tail ends of a coat was what we were thinking of. But then also, like if you see like a bell curve, the ends of the curve were, like the we were trying to highlight how people at the edges were being ignored. So
Right.
like the tail ends, so it was like clothing plus our statistics, whatever. And so we had that for a very long time. And then towards the end of our class, one of our professors was like, you guys need to change this. This is not, no one's going to understand this. So then we had to make it very simple and just like fitted, just makes sense. Like it's not hard to understand. And this was like we were not expecting to call ourselves Fitted. That's just how it is. We just came up with it towards the end, but yeah, now we're stuck with it.
It's a cool name. I like it. It's a cool name. So it's kind of interesting how you guys, it started out as a project in school, but then you guys seen the bigger vision of this company that trying to solve problems that we all do have. I have it too. Excuse my French, I'm busty at the top. So some shirts is kind of hard for me to, if I order it offline, I always go big because I'm not sure if it's going to fit properly. And then I either tend to send it back because it's still too small or send it back because it's too big. So when I heard the idea, I was like, oh yeah. But in saying that, who would this app support? Who would it benefit? Who would it benefit?
Yeah. So initially we thought that we wanted to make it for people who have like a non-standard body type. But then when we started interviewing people, and by non-standard, we mean like petite, plus size, or tall, that's what we were focusing on initially. But then when we started interviewing people, we realized that everyone struggles to buy clothing online. It's not like restricted to a certain body type or whatever. Like everyone has a problem buying clothing online. So like even though we initially focused on that specific group, now we feel like anyone can use our application. Anyone who shops online can benefit from our product.
So I was talking to a girlfriend. She's in a wheelchair. So she was like, you know what I want to know? Can you ask them, because she doesn't go in a store to buy her clothing because she is in a wheelchair. So it's just easier for her to order offline, and then when it comes in, to try it on at home. And if it doesn't fit, then she sends back. So she wanted me to ask you guys, would your app also tailor to someone with disabilities that cannot stand up straight and have their body digitized? You know what I mean? But would it still be for folks that has disability as well?
Yeah, we were for our like customer segments, we had adults with non-traditional body types, but then also with adults with disabilities, and then also adults who prefer to dress androgynously, so their clothing doesn't fit tightly. They dress a little bit loosely. So we wanted to incorporate these groups as well. Even though it's going to be kind of hard for us to initially do that, we want to eventually do that because we want to include that customer segment in our product as well.
Okay, great. So what have been some of the biggest obstacles you faced with creating the business as well as the program overall?
There have been a lot, so many obstacles. I can touch on a couple. So the first thing for us was kind of figuring out like financial information. So how to calculate our projections for the next 2 years, 3 years when we don't have any revenue. And I know, Luana, we discussed this like literally on Monday, but that I think has been one of the biggest obstacles, like how to actually show financial information to angel investors or venture capitalists going forward. And then also, I think like the legal details. So since we're so small, we don't really know, or since we're so new, we don't really know how to, get legal advice cheaply or for free. So that's also, since it's such a big component, and it will be going forward, I think that's also something that's a huge obstacle. And then we are looking for someone who has expertise in computer vision technology. So no one on our team has that expertise. Like Justin is a CTO, but he's an engineer. And we need someone specifically with that expertise. And it's not cheap for someone like that to, build something like this for us. So figuring out how to build our prototype in the cheapest way possible is also a huge obstacle.
Yeah. So you see their needs. They need whoever that. What did you call them? A vision, an engineer, a vision engineering,
computer vision developer.
Computer vision developer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what they need. That's not me. I can talk finance to you all day long, but technology. I'm hoping my girlfriend is watching Jovita, because she's into computers and technology. So maybe, hopefully, she knows someone that maybe can help you guys out. So what are you hoping to achieve once the program becomes available? What are you hoping to achieve?
So overall, I think just making online shopping easier is the number one thing we want to achieve. Just making the process as simple as possible and making people like feel less frustrated when they're buying clothes online and actually enjoy the process of online shopping instead of feeling frustrated or confused by it. And then also kind of eliminating the hesitation around technology to make this common activity easier. I know there's a lot of hesitation with using something that's unfamiliar, but technology is the future. So we're trying to get people to understand that it can be helpful and it can be useful and it can be simple to use. That's our goal.
Okay, so for me, this is my question I want to know. When do you anticipate this program to be available and to be live?
So I think Justin can answer this better than me, but I think our first attempt or first version may take up to a year to develop, but I know Justin knows this better than me, so I'm going to pass it to him.
Yeah, so I think we're assuming we can get a computer vision developer in the next few months. I would say our timeline is probably 6 to 9 months for an open, excuse me, an open beta, and a big piece of this is getting user data. So having as many people as possible try it because we want to have this accessible to everybody. Like your friend in the wheelchair, in order to make the app work for them, we need to have that user data and scan as many different body types as possible so that we can figure out the best way to make it work for each individual. So doing that initial beta test, looking at 6 to 9 months out, probably a rough commercial version, like Avantik said, in a year, and then hopefully the dream is have a full rollout in the next 2 to 3 years.
Okay, great. So, Avantika, winning the pitch competition, what did that mean for you and your team? What did that mean?
I really needed that at that time. So after graduating, before I even graduated, before I even applied to the MBA program, I knew coming in that I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I just knew it. I just knew I needed. I just knew I was supposed to do this. So before I even came in, like in my application, I wrote that I wanted to develop something. Like I wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I had different ideas at that time. But coming into the program, I questioned my path so many times. I was so confused throughout the program. But then when I started taking entrepreneurship classes, I knew this was what I was supposed to do. Like this class, when I met the rest of the co-founders, I knew that I really wanted to make something out of it. I wanted to develop something out of it. And so after I graduated, we all, were in different locations and things weren't like, everything was unclear. I was adjusting to living at home. It was just, everything was kind of up in the air. And so even though I had registered the company and everything, and I was trying to do work, I still felt like I was still, I was questioning myself so much until the pitch competition. And I don't know how I found it, but I found it and then I applied and I kind of just prepared and went in like not expecting anything at all. I just needed to do something related to entrepreneurship, related to innovation, related to startups. And so I just went in not expecting anything, but to kind of just build a network. And so when I won, I think it gave me a huge morale boost. And it really confirmed for me that what I was doing, that I was on the right path. And that, I don't know. I think I just really needed it at that time. I really needed to connect with Georgette and to connect with all the mentors I've met so far. I am so grateful for the competition because it really gave me that confidence boost and gave me that motivation to keep going and to keep pursuing this idea. So yeah.
Yeah. So how did it feel being in a room with like-minded women? Because even though your businesses were different, everybody had their own specialty that they were bringing forth. But at the end of the day, you guys was all entrepreneurs
Yeah.
And you guys were women.
Yeah.
No offense, Justin.
I
But-
really am just here to support.
But you were women. You know, you was in a place with a group of women.
Mm-hmm.
And how did that feel?
It was so motivating. It was so inspiring to see every single individual's pitch that day. I was so proud, even though I had never met them before. I was just so proud for them, and I was just so happy for them that they took the risk to come and pitch in front of, you know, all these people that they had never met before or had met like once or twice before. So it was so motivating for me to see that as not only just a woman, but as a woman of color, to see that representation and to see that there are people who are trying to, you know, build businesses. And it was just, I loved it.
So for the rest of the team, when she contacted you guys to let you know we won, how did that feel? How did that feel?
So you know what's funny is she texted us and she's just like, you know what? I'm just gonna go to the pitch competition. I'm just gonna go there for networking. And then she texts us later. She's like, oh guys, I pitched and I won. And you're just like, what? But it's actually seeing Avantika just like win things, but also from the beginning of our MBA program to now, I've just seen her blossom so much from just being very quiet and subdued to now she's so confident, and just to see her be an amazing CEO, I've not only learned so much from her, but it's just to see her just grow this company it's just been incredible to see the process. But when she texted us, I think I just bounced off the walls myself.
And just to add to that, I think that it was really motivating because in our entrepreneurship class where we launched this idea, we weren't always getting the kindest feedback from our professor. She was very, very tough on us. Our classmates were very, very tough on us. So it was just nice to, you know, I guess just to see that, you know, we could win and that this idea was actually a good one. Because sometimes when you're getting a lot of criticism, you wonder, okay, do we suck? Like, when you just stop while we're ahead. So it was really good to see.
Yeah, I would definitely say to Kaylee's point, like it was really heartening because we've had a lot of people tell us that this is a good idea, but in a lot of ways they were all within our network that we already knew. So at least to me, it was kind of like are you telling us this is a good idea, or are you just like trying to hype us up? So to have that validation was phenomenal. But in terms of like the surprise of Avantika winning, as Catherine said, she's grown a lot as a person, as a leader over the last year and two. But I've pitched against her. I've seen her pitch. I've seen her grow as a pitcher. So in terms of her winning, I know what a fierce competitor she is, and I wasn't surprised, honestly. I knew she was going in there with a real shot. So I'm just proud that she brought it home.
Well, let me tell you. So when she came up, at first I didn't know what she was talking about, but about time she finished, I was like, and all I can see is cha-ching. I was like, that girl, they're gonna be a millionaire. Like, wait a minute. And I think everybody in the room was feeling the same exact way that I was feeling, like, you're sitting on a gold mine. Like, yeah, like, but it was just awesome to experience. And I think I'm gonna go back to my footage. I think I got your presentation. I got your pitch on video. If I do, I'll send it over to you guys.
Please
I
do.
think I have it. But so in saying that, what do you expect from FIT in the next 5 years? Next 5, 6, 7 years. Where do you guys see FIT to be?
So I see us developing a product and then partnering with brands and then eventually getting acquired. So in these 5 years, I expect these things to happen, but anything can happen. So I'm just going to pass it on to everyone else.
I think, like you said, we're going to be millionaires. Obviously, we've got a great idea.
That's it.
So,
That's it.
all the other stuff.
That's it. How about you, Catherine?
Ditto, just ditto.
Justin?
I'm here to learn and have fun and do cool stuff with my friends. Like it, I think we're gonna be millionaires many times over, and the fact that I get to do this with great people is, you know, it's all about the ride.
I love it. Well, just remember, don't forget me. I'm just saying. When y'all become millionaires, come back to the platform. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, come back to the platform. Like, Lou, see, we did it, and we did it less than 5 years because it's gonna happen. Because that's everything is technology now. Everything is technology based. So, how can my viewers follow you? How can they support you? What other things that you guys are doing to move your program along that they can be a part of, or just watching the success of what you guys are doing in FIT?
So I think Kaylee, Kaylee can take it.
So I run all of our social media accounts right now. We're on LinkedIn and Instagram. So LinkedIn, it's just fitted with a period, and you'll know us by our logo. It's just a black and white logo, and then the F is in red. So you can follow us on there. But we're most active right now on Instagram, and our handle is We Are Fitted, and we post at least once a week, sometimes more, but just keeping our followers up to date on what we're doing, trying to kind of build that base of, this is who we are, what we plan to do, and then just give updates as they come about.
Okay. And if you guys, each four you guys, if you can talk to my young people, even my older folks. I know you guys was in the MBA program together. If you can just speak about being an entrepreneur or just furthering their education to move them where they would like to go as far as their career. And some folks say, well, you can't do it, but then other folks says, I can do it. And I'm going to, even after having a career as a teacher, as a police officer, no, I'm going to apply to this program, and I'm going to go ahead and go to school, and I'm going to get my degree, further my education, so I can move on and do something different. If you guys can speak to that, I appreciate it. Anybody can start.
I can start. So for me, this sounds kind of cliche, but I would say don't give up. I know, and I think Catherine can probably agree with this, but we didn't come from traditional business backgrounds. And so many times we were told, well, you'll never be able to do this, that, and the other because you don't have that business background. Like an MBA is just not enough. And now we're co-founders of a business that we expect to take off. And we both have found great jobs in places that we wanted to be. So definitely don't give up. It's possible, especially if you have the right network and resources.
Mm-hmm.
And to going along with that, it's okay to take risks and to go outside your comfort zone. I could have gone to any state university here in Florida to get my MBA, but I just decided, hey, why not go move out of state to Virginia and get that MBA there? And you never know what life is going to lead. And of course, as Kaylee just said, people were always telling me, oh, it's going to be completely Greek to you. You're not going to know anything. You're going to suffer through the MBA program. And I did pretty well. look where I am now. And of course, don't let others bring you down. You're going to get criticism in life. That's part of life. But you just have to take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I think hopping off what Catherine said, I'd say be ready to seize opportunities, even if they don't come how you expect them to. The plan is only as good as it lasts, and it will change. And being ready to adapt and finding those new challenges.
I think she froze.
Oh no. And this is where our chaoticness comes in.
We are unsupervised, guys.
But still live. So.
and we say nothing.
I do not want to risk it.
It's not like our normal
Okay,
meeting.
are we back?
There she is.
Yay!
Are we back? No.
Yes.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
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 Can you guys hear me?
Mhm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened there. Okay, everybody's back. Are we all back?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know what happened. Lord, okay. Sorry, viewers. Okay, sorry, Justin. Sorry. Okay, Jessica, did you?
Yeah.
Can y'all hear?
Okay. Okay. Are we good? Okay.
No.
Okay. So sorry. Can you? Are we good? Can you hear me?
Are we good? I can hear you.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay. I'm just gonna talk.
Can you see me?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So something that I would say is to always follow your intuition and don't be afraid to take risks. And you don't have to know all the answers before you try something new or before you do something, because you'll figure it out along the way. And that's something I've had to learn. You can't really plan for everything. Like, life is unexpected. Like, anything can happen at any time. So you really can't plan for everything. But if you have an idea and you want to pursue it and you're willing to take the risk, you will meet people who believe in your vision and want to help you. Like, help will come. So don't be worried. Don't be scared to do things outside of your comfort zone. That's what I would say. I think she froze again. We are unsupervised.
Stay on. I don't know. Stay on. It's great. It's weird.
Okay.
Okay. I think
back.
now we're good. I don't know what was going on. I had not a clue. That was weird. But we're good. I was letting everybody know. I don't know what happened, but I think we're good. We're good. Everybody's good.
Yes.
Okay. Somebody said, "Oh no, we're back. We're back. We're back." Sorry. Do you want to repeat what you said real quick?
Sure. Okay. So basically what I said was I'll always follow your intuition and don't be afraid to take risks. And you can't really plan for everything and you don't need to know all the answers. So just take that leap of faith, and the people who believe in your vision and who want to help you will come. So don't be scared. Basically, that's what I was trying to say.
So we had a few comments. I'm going to put them up real quick. So this is from Georgette. Hey guys, she's supporting. Georgette, super excited for you guys. And then, if nobody didn't know, Georgette used to be a former law enforcement as well. And she said, "Thank you for your service." Somebody made a comment. They laughed. Let me do this. That is how most businesses started. One idea. One of my favorites. Let's see. Computer vision developer. Georgette kind of helped me out, with typing in as you talk. She typing comments. Thank you, Georgette. Great supporter of my best friend. That's awesome. This is from Minister Teresa, who's watching as well. Oh, you're going to make me cry. Oh, okay. That must be from Georgette. Then we have one winner already touching Minnie. Way to go, Georgette. Your vision and testimony. Write it down. That's from Georgette. Okay. Then we have so glad Avantika found the competition, Georgette. Don't forget Shark Tank. And then she was giving you guys information out. And this was just me letting everybody know I was frozen because I don't know what happened. But yes. So there we have it. I thank you guys for coming on my platform. Like I said, please use this platform any kind of way that you need to. Their information is down below, but I'll make sure that you guys get all their handles. Please follow them, support them. Let them know that, people are out there watching. And if you have some money, dig deep and tribute, donate. That's how we help each other, help other entrepreneurs by making sure that we give back and we donate. So guys, if you have anything for me, or like my background, Avantika Finance, have any questions, please reach out to me. You have my information, you have my number. I'll be glad to help you guys out any way I can. I'm excited about it. For students, well, graduated students coming together to promote something very that's gonna make y'all gonna be rich. Y'all gonna be. That's all I keep saying is ching 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 ching. But it's something needed because everything is going on online now, so it's very needed to have that program. And so I'm just excited. I can't wait. I just can't wait to see what God has in store for you guys, all for you. And congratulations on your new endeavor, new jobs that you guys will be doing in your field. So congratulations. And anytime you need me, I am here. So in saying that, thank you guys for watching out there. Thank you guys for being patient. I don't know what happened with the technology. Technology come and go, see, all the time. That's why I don't like it. That's why I do what I do. I'm not in the tech world. But yes, thank you for following me and tuning in. And I'll see you guys next week. Make sure you guys stay on. Have a good evening.